All right, I'm back. Let me share my screen. Let me get this set up. Share. Let me also widen my face a little bit. And I know, can I do it like this? I don't know if this is, oh, what did I do? No, I think that's better. Okay, can I see these charts? I think I can pretty much see them. All right. So this video is going to be the beginning of my series on Latin. Um, I'm going to be using this book here. This is Wheelock's Latin Grammar. I don't know if you can make it out, but it's the fourth edition. Um, the third edition is also perfectly good. And I prefer the fourth edition to any other later editions because it just has fewer cultural tidbits, has fewer graphics, it has less vocabulary per chapter, which I think is preferable to more vocabulary, especially for a language like Latin, which isn't spoken. So we're just going to be doing a bunch of translation, but we're mainly going to be learning like declension charts, conjugation charts, um, which is a load. So we don't need to like, yeah, we can do all that with just fewer words. So that's the reason why I'm choosing this book. Um, this first book, as I write here, is going to pertain to the introduction. So this is the Wheelock. The title of this video is going to be Wheelock's Latin Introduction, and it's going to correspond to the introduction in the Wheelock book. And then subsequent videos, video number one in the series, will pertain to chapter one in the book. My little uh, my little light is not going on. I feel like it would be better if it were on. Um, Come on. It's kind of like, I don't know if it's, I think it's, oh, here we go. Okay, I think that's better. I don't know if it's going to go off though. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go through this and um so it's just the introductory stuff. So hopefully you have the book, and if not, it doesn't matter. I put everything here that you need. Okay, so first we're going to go over the vowels. In in Latin, we have what are short vowels and long vowels. The short vowels are pretty similar to like Spanish vowels in their length and in their pronunciation and their quality, except for the I. The I in Spanish is kind of long. It's like E, like C, but in Latin it's more like I. So so I'm not gonna use Wheelock's like it sounds like this in English. I'm just gonna give you Latin words and pronounce them, and so that you can hear them, and then you can repeat after me. So I'll try to like pause between each word. So the short A, agricola, agricola means farmer. Casa, casa means house. I don't know if I'll do this for all the words, like give the definition, but like, okay, so maybe I won't because we're just focusing on the pronunciation. We can learn vocabulary later as we progress through the book. Okay, amicus, amicus, amicus means friend. Poeta, poeta, poeta means poet. Puella, puella, puella means girl. Okay, this is gonna take too long if I do with this. It means this, it means that. So let's just go through. Erro, erro. Don't worry if you cannot pronounce the ro. Just like we're just focusing on the vowel E right now. Erro. Decimus. 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 You'll notice that the C is hard. That's what she said. Wow. Sorry. It's too early for that. It's really early for that. Mare. 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 Mare means sea. If you speak a Slavic language, it's probably like close to that in your language too, like more. Okay. Vergilius. 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 The V in Latin is pronounced like a W. Vergilius. That's just Virgil. Ego. Ego. Like in English, let go my ego. Not exactly pronounced the same, but okay. Ego just means I. Ego. The short E. The short E is like you know if you have a candle wick, ick. Like if you say something is icky, kind of like that, but it's more like the wick, it and ick, like wick, wick, ick. So it's not the Spanish. The Spanish would be E, but so this is the wick, ick, ick. Invictus, invictus. Nihil, nihil. Nihil means nothing. Invictus means, well, invictus, undefeated, unconquerable. Sorry, I'll go back. Invictus, invictus. Nihil, nihil. Vita means life. Vita. Winum, winum means wine. Sine, sine, like the sine qua non, right? This is the sine as in without, means without. Sine. Con, C-O-N means with. Con, with, sine, without. But okay, we're pronouncing the vowels. Sine. The short O. Omnis. Omnis. Omnis means all or everything. Dominus, right? Lord or master. Dominus. Dominus. If you're into a little bit of a like getting spanked, you might have a domina. Otherwise, I think they call them domes. Like I don't know. I know. Domina. Domina. Fortuna. Fortuna, which is fortune, like luck, not money. Fortuna. Porta, which is gate. Porta. Porta. Short U. Short U is U. Uxor. The X, throw up the X, is a KS sound, like in the word axle in English, axle or exercise. It's a K. It's not like the G sound in like it's not. It doesn't make the G sound. It's just the KS together sound. So uxor, wife. Lupus, lupus, lupus means wolf. Pugna, pugna, pugnacious. Pugna means to fight, or it means a fight. Pulcra, pulchritude, 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 which means beautiful or handsome, right? It means beauty. Pulcra, pulcra. Now, the C and the H actually is pronounced slightly differently, but conventionally now, at least here in the United States, we don't bother with the like It's supposed to be an aspirated sound, like pulkra, 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 kra, kra, like a C emphasized and then the h afterwards. Kaha, kaha. But nobody says pulkra anymore. We just say pulkra, so we just treat it basically like a k, k, pulkra, pulkra. Pectus, pectus, pectorals. Work out your pecs. So it means breast or chest, right? Pectus, pectus. So that's the U. Okay, those are the short ones. So a, e, o, u. A, e, o, u. Okay, now the long U's in textbooks, not in regular Latin, you won't see the little line, which we call, it's a macron. Some people say macron, but I think it's pronounced macron. It'd be nice if in English we had macrons or macrons, then we would know the pronunciation because we would put a line over it if it was macron, and we would put a line over it if it was macron for the most part. Okay, anyway, so here's the long A. The long A, all of the vowels A, E, I, O, U are basically you're just opening up your throat more and letting more air out and prolonging the sound a little bit more, except for the E. The E actually changes quality. Like it's not the same sound as the short E. It's not just the elongated short E. It's actually slightly a different sound, so it's a quality difference. But let's do so let's go. Amito, amito, amito. If it was short, it would be amito. But this is amito, amito. And notice the double T. In Latin, double consonants, repeated consonants, each one gets pronounced. So it's like if this was the word like in English, attendance, English is just the first syllable will be and then the tendance would be the double T together for the second syllable. You wouldn't say attendance, right? It would just be attendance. But in Latin, if that was the word in Latin, it would be attendus, attendus. Okay, but it's not like so very distinct. Like you don't have to really like force it. So it would just be amito, amito, dictata, dictata, ta, ta. Long A, ta, and short A, ta, ta, dictata, which means like things dictated, right? Okay. Paganus, both two long A's. Paganus. Paganus, which means one meaning is a pagan, right? Let's burn those pagans. Basium. Basium. In Spanish, the word for kiss is beso. Beso. And basium is kiss. Basium. Basium. And then senator. Senator, which is just senator. Senator. Okay, so not short A, casa. If casa was spelled with two long A's, it would be casa, but it's short, so it's casa. Okay, long E. Now here's when I say it's not like a, it's more like a. It's almost like a letter A in English. It's almost like that. So it's eventus, eventus, debate, debate. Eventus is like the result, the conclusion of something, and then debate is the infinitive, which means to like to owe, like to owe money, or ought, like you ought to do something. So this is the infinitive version. The re marks the infinitive here. So debate, debate, regius, regius, like rex in Latin means king. Regius means royal. Regius. Wheelocks. Wheelocks. What does Wheelocks mean? Reloj. Reloj. Veloz. Veloz. Oh, it means fast. It means fast. In Spanish, the word for fast or quick is veloz. Veloz. In Latin, it's wheelocks. Wheelock just means fast. And then wade, it's just double E's, double long E's. Wade means truly, like verily, right? Verily is truth. Ver is truth. Like veritas is truth, right? So veritas, not veritas. But and it wade is truly, right? Really, right? Okay. Wade. So you hear the A. It's almost like sitting on the dock of the bay. Sitting on the dock of the bay, bay. It's that A. It's not A. It's not, so it's okay. The long I. Now the long I is like the Spanish I, but it's like the E in machine. Like them. Them means the same. Them. In so them. Insula. Insula means island. So if you're insular, you're on an island by yourself. Insula. Periculum. Periculum. Periculum means danger. In Spanish, danger is peligro. If you know a Romance language, you're gonna notice that you recognize a lot of Latin. Like learning for me when I studied Latin, it was yeah, I had it like I had like a not like a head start, but basically like a head start. I had an advantage over my friends who like, didn't know any Romance languages. Okay, C. C here means if. C here means if. With the macron over the I, it means if. Okay. Vis. Vis here means power. Vis. We get the word violent from vis. The VI is the VI from violent. Vis. I'm pretty sure that's right. Vis. Okay, so that's the long I. The long O. OD. OD. OD means, I think, hatred. Like odium, right? Hatred. And known. Known means not. Known. Quodomo. Quomodo. Quomodo. In Spanish, we have uh, que modo. And que modo is like in what way, in what manner. And that's what it means in Latin, actually. It's like in whatever manner, in whatever way, in what way, right? So it's quomodo, quomodo, Roma, 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 oratio, oratio. Oratio is like a lecture or speech, an oration, right? Okay. Oratio. That's the O. O. Like the O, yeah. So you got it. The U. The U is like the U in boot, right? Utilis. Utilis. Luna, which means moon, right? A lot of people name their cats Moon. I don't know why. Well, maybe because cats hang out at night. Luna. Luna is moon. Impunitus. 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 Ducere. Duco means I lead. Like remember Mussolini's nickname was El Duce? El Duce? El Duque? El Duque. But pronounced in Italian El Duce, I believe, right? So, but it means leader, right? To lead. So ducere. Ducere means to lead. Lux. Again, the KS sound for the X. Lux, which is a light, right? Like I turned on my light. Light. Lux. Okay. The Y is technically a long vowel. Excuse me. Wheelock tells us that it's pronounced like the U in the French tu, tu, tu. I don't know how to pronounce it exactly. Or Uber, like in the German Uber, Uber. But you don't need it. Forget it. You're never gonna see this vowel. You're never gonna see this vowel. I think I don't remember seeing it all through Latin 1, 2, or half of 3. So you don't need it. But I don't give you any words because I couldn't even think of any and I couldn't even find any. So yeah, you're not gonna need any. Okay, so those are the vowels. You don't have to be perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect, by the way, but it helps to be consistent. It's gonna help you to be consistent because it's gonna help you, one, be understood if you ever like speak it. Like you might not, you're not gonna speak it like conversationally, but you might speak it like in practice in a classroom or to another person reading to each other your translations. And it's going to help you sometimes figure out like what case or what conjugation the noun or the verb that you're saying belongs to. Because if you say something like, do I have an example? Let me give you an example. Like here we go. This verb here, debate. Because I say debate, I know that the second vowel has a macron, and the second vowel, the debate, tells me it's a second conjugation verb. It's a second. There's only 4 conjugations in Latin, but this is the second conjugation verb, and I know that because of the debate, the e. Now, if I go to ducere here, you see that the e has no vowel. The e has no macron, so it's not ducere, it's ducere, and that's a short e. So I know that's a third conjugation vowel, right? So just knowing how to pronounce it correctly helps me figure out which conjugation I'm using or I need to be in when I start conjugating. Okay, so now let's go to the diphthongs. Diphthongs are 2 or more vowels, usually not more than 3, that are pronounced as one syllable, or at least that count as one syllable for the syntax and for the rules for syllabification and for the rules for accent. But sometimes you can hear 2 syllables, but it doesn't matter. It's going to count as one, and then we'll see an example. So the A and the E together are basically an I sound, like the word, like the aisle, like AISLE or ISLE, or just I comma, not I comma, I apostrophe LL, aisle, that I, that's what the A and the I together. So this is carai, carai. The second word is saipe. This word, this means often, by the way. Means often. Often. I say often. Like I've always said often, but some people say, and I think most people say often. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about, right? So it's often. Saipe. Very useful word. Saipe. The third word here is dei, right? Because this is the diphthong. So the de and then the I. Dei. Dei. And then we have kailum. Kailum means sky. Kailum, like ceiling. Kailum. Kailum. Okay, the A and the U are the ow. Like if you like stub your toe and you're like ow, or if you're angry at somebody, you say get out now. That's ow. That's the ow. The AU is ow. So out, which means or. Laudo, which means I praise. Nauta, which means sailor. Causa, which I believe means cause, right? Okay. The E and the I is a like in like a king's reign, like REIGN or RAIN, rain, like rain, precipitation. It's the same A, right? So it's like, so it's deinde, deinde, and rey. And rey means thing, by the way. Just means thing. So rey. And that's one form of it. Remember, Latin is an inflected language, which means all the endings change depending on what case or what conjugation, person, number you're talking about. So, or tense. So okay, so but it means this is one form of the word thing. The EU, this is what I said. Even though this counts as one syllable, you can clearly hear the E and the U. So it's not like one single sound. Like the word English for ear in English is spelled EAR. But you don't hear the A, it's just ear, right? Or the word to see, like in English, SEE is see. Okay, that's 2 E's, so that's not a diphthong. It's just duplicate. But the ocean sea, the sea, SEA, is still pronounced C, but you don't hear the A, and that's one sound. Right? You don't hear the A, it's gone. It's just C, one sound. But this EU in Latin, you hear both, but you're supposed to like say them really fast together. So it's seu, seu, and deus. You can hear the deus, but it's not deus, right? It's deus, faster together. Deus. Seu, Deus. Okay. The O and the E is like the OI in oil. So it's oi, like the Aussies, oi, oi, oi. Hoipit, hoipit. Croilium, croilium. The U and the I is only a diphthong in these 5 words. Don't ask me what they mean. Uh, it's only in these 5 words. Any other place, it's gonna be ooey. You're gonna hear the difference between they're gonna be distinct sounds. Ooey, like fructuis, fructuis, oois, fructuis. But here, it's like the ooey in Spanish, like muy caliente, very hot, muy, ooey, or like in the Thai kickboxing, Muay Thai. I think it's Muay Thai. But anyways, muy like the Spanish, muy, huis, huis, huik, hui, hui. It's a little hard to make the distinction between the ui and the ui, but okay. But again, these are the only 5 words that have this u and I together as a diphthong. Otherwise, it's going to be like if it wasn't a diphthong, you would pronounce this as like huis, huis, huik, hui, hui. But it's not hui, it's hui, right? It's hui. Kind of like gooey, like fooey, on you, right? Hooey, cooey, hooik, hoois, hoois. I went backwards. Okay, those are the diphthongs. Special consonants. I say special because also Wheelock says kind of like the same thing, meaning that the rest of the vowels, the rest of the consonants are like English. So there's nothing really to teach you. If you see them, just pronounce them like English, unless you have reason not to, and these are the reasons not to. The B and the S together are pronounced like a P and an S. So it's not pronounced urbs, it's pronounced urps, urps, urps. The B and the T is not pronounced like a B and a T, it's pronounced like a P and a T. So this is optineo, 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 right? Right, okay. The C is always hard, so it's casa. It's never soft like in celery. The G is always hard like in gloria or glory. It's never soft as in giraffe. This, let me make that an I. It looks like an L. The I to start, if it's followed by a vowel, is going to work like a Y sound. So this is Justus. So the I, initial I, and followed by a vowel, I'll put capital V for vowel here, is pronounced like a Y. Justus. This is Justus. The I between 2 vowels does double duty. First, it works like a regular I, and then it adds the Y sound to the next syllable. So this is rejectus. Re, initial duty of the E to with the I, so making that diphthong, re, and then it carries the Y sound to the next E, yectus. Rejectus. So it has double duty when it's in between vowels. The QU is always a KW, like quickie, like quickie mart, quickie, and whatever vowel follows that. So it's a bit, so quoque, to quoque, you two, quod, quod, quid, right? Quid. Quod is because, quid is what? I think that's right. So quod, quid, like a quid, like money, like British money. Okay. The R is trilled. Don't stress over the trillness. And sometimes you don't know how much, like for when I pronounce this word curare, I don't trill the second one nearly as much as I trill the first one. Curare, curare. I can trill it, but okay, curare. Okay, so trilled. X we already talked about. It's a X. By the way, this is a K and an S. Okay, so it's mixtum, mixtum, mixtum. The C and the H and the P and the H and the T, and that should be T and an H, not T and an E. The T and the H have an aspirated H. So it's, think of it as kh, kh, the C and the H. Think of the PH as pah, pah, and the T and the H as tah, tah, which I've kind of like tried to symbolize here or annotate with this way of doing it. I'll put this in. I guess I'll put it in like this one. So when I've written, this is my own. This is not Wheelock's. This is not anybody's. This is just my way of showing how it should be read. Okay. Now I want to say one thing before I give you the pronunciations. People, at least from what I've seen, tend to just ignore this kind of pronunciation and just pronounce it slightly differently because it's easier for us Western speakers. Like if you try to stick, if you try to speak kind of like what the Romans spoke like, the chorus would be like cohortus, 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 cohortus. But generally we just say chorus, chorus, chorus. So we just ignore the cohortus and we just say chorus. You can adopt the either way. I kind of like the original Latin way, supposedly the original Latin way, the cohortus, but it takes a little while getting used to saying that. And you can't delay the aspirated H. You can't say cohorus. No, that it doesn't sound right. It's chorus, chorus, kind of together. Okay. So, and again, most people have adopted the PH to sound like an F. So most people when they read Latin, they say filosofia. Philosophia like a F, like we do it in English, philosophy, right? But it should be pihilosophia, 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 pihilosophia. And that may sound weird to you, but to me, it's come like I can say that pretty comfortably now. Pihilosophia. But most people don't read it that way, even though it's the more correct way. And the last word, most people just say theatrum, but it could be teatrum, teatrum with the aspirated H. You can hear it, right? Teatrum. So, chorus, philosophia, teatrum. If you want to say it that way, I think it's great. It takes a little practice, not too much, and then you can say it. But perfectly acceptable and very common just to say chorus, philosophia, teatrum. Teatrum. Okay. Double consonants, and I just gave two examples, but this applies to all double consonants, all repeated consonants, not just double, not right. So double meaning repeated. They pronounce each one, right? So admittent. It's not admittent, it's admittent, admittent, admittent. Courant, 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 not courant, courant, courant. Okay, so pronounce both, the one ending and then the beginning. Okay. Syllabification rules, which is important. It's going to help you. So here are the rules. Every syllable must have at least and at most one vowel or one diphthong. Cannot have two vowels, cannot have two diphthongs, cannot have a vowel and a diphthong, cannot have a diphthong and a vowel. One, but must have one. So that means a consonant by itself, like G or S or N, cannot be a syllable because it has no vowel. But a vowel by itself can be a syllable because, well, it has a vowel, right? So rule number one, for syllabification, you must separate all vowels and diphthongs because they cannot be together. So you must separate them. So dea is separated like this, dea, and that'll help you pronounce it, dea. This one has the de, the e, and then the diphthong, so it's dei. It's dei. Remember, the a and the e is pronounced like aisle, like dei. We have the diphthong, and then we have the I, and then we have the U next to it, so we have to separate the I and the U. Proi, the O E is oi, like an oil. Proi li, and then proilium, proilium, proilium. Okay. Next, if you have a single consonant between a vowel, two vowels, or a vowel and a diphthong, right? If it's between some kind of vowel, the consonant goes with the second vowel. It doesn't attach to the end of the first vowel. So look at amicus. The M in amicus is between the A and the I, so it goes with the I. The C in amicus is between the I and the U, so it goes with the U. So it's amicus, amicus. Okay. Obiquio, obiquio. The B in obiquio is between the O and the I, so it goes with the I. The C in obiquio is between the I and the I, so it goes with the second I. Obiquio, obiquio. If you have a group of consonants, meaning two or more, the last consonant in that group goes with the second vowel. Servare, servare, right? You have the two consonants in the R and the V. So the last one, the V goes with the A. Servare. Here we have NS, so the S goes with the U. Here we have MPT, so the last one T goes with the U. Consumptus, consumptus. Okay, here's some linguistic terms. If you have a stop, like, or a stop basically is the sound gets shut off, like a valve, like huh, huh, like t, b. These are stops. If you have a stop followed by a liquid, which is just an L and an R, the stop and the liquid work as one consonant. They count as one consonant. So they would both go together with the last vowel. So look at the word patrum. Patrum has the stop T and the liquid R, so they both go together. So it's patrum. It's not patrem. You wouldn't say patrem. That's just horrible. You'd say patrum. Okay, and publicus, publicus, which is just the public, publicus, the B and the L, the B is the stop, the L is the liquid, so the B and the L go together with the I. Publicus. Okay, so that's the rule. And these four count as one syllable. Remember we saw the CH, like the cohorus, the PH, pihilosophia, the TH, teatrum, and the QU in like quoque or quid or quod, they count as one. So they would go together. So here is a group, RCH, but the CH count as one, so it's the last consonant basically, and so it goes together with the I. And then you have the C and the T over here, and so the T goes with the U. Architectus. But again, most people would say architectus, and I think that's perfectly okay. For the C, I think it's perfectly okay. Architectus or architectus, architectus. Here we have the LOQU, so the QU goes together by itself, so it's loquacem, 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 right? Okay, so these are the syllabification rules. They're going to help you pronounce things better. Okay, now we talked about long vowels and short vowels. And this is going to help you as far as pronunciation. Like, where does the stress go? Is it amicus? Is it amicus? Or is it amicus? Right? Like, where's the stress going? Where's the accent going? Latin syllables are either long or short. If they're long, they can be long by nature or they can be long by position. A Latin syllable is long by nature if it contains one of these vowels, the A with a macron, the E with a macron, the I with a macron, right, and so on. Or if it contains a diphthong. These are pronounced with a lot of air coming out, and this is what makes them long, right? So these are all long by nature. Just if you see them, you know that it's long. Long by position takes a little bit of more looking into, studying. If you have a regular vowel, regular short vowel, but it's followed by a group of consonants or two or more consonants, that vowel is long by position. You will say it with more air coming out as if it were a long by nature vowel, like as if it had a macron, let's say, right? So if you see, for example, this A, this ah, it doesn't mean it's pronounced ah. It could be ah. It could be ah. It could be the long pronunciation because it might be long by position. So if this alone, let me go back. This alone, this spelling alone doesn't tell you that it's short or long. It doesn't tell you that. It just so happens that all the ones we chose are short, but you might sometimes see this A by itself. I mean, this A, short A, but you need to pronounce it as if it were a long A because it's long by position. Okay, and this is telling you when it's long by position, when it's followed by a group of consonants, or when it's followed by the X, because the X is the K and the S. So it kind of counts as two consonants. Okay, so for example, we will see this. Let me give you an example. I didn't give you an example. So here, let me give you an example. Amat and amant. Here, this A is short. Okay, it's short because it's not. It's a short. There's no macron. There's no macron over it, and it's not followed by a group of consonants. It's only followed by this T. So it's short. We don't have any exception here, so we're just short. Okay, but here, this A here is long. Why? Because it's followed by a group of consonants, by the N and the T. So the first one will be pronounced. Let me give you the whole list, actually. I'm not going to put the macrons, but I'll pronounce them. It'll be easier to hear it if I give you all of it. Okay. Amo means I love, by the way. So this is amo, amas, long A, amat, short A, amas, amat, amas, amat, amamus, long A, amamus, long A. Wait, do I have the A macron here? Paste. No, I have the U macron going. Okay, so let me give me a second. I'd rather you actually see it. Where's my A? I need to copy it. Here we go. I won't copy the O, but copy. Okay, I'll put it here. So this is the long A. This is the long A. This is the long A. And this is the short A, but it's pronounced like a long A because it has the NT, which is double consonant, so it's long by position. So, and this O is also has a macron, but I'm not going to change it. So this is amo, amo, amas, amat, amamus, amatis, amant, amant, not amant. It would be short. Amant, long. Amant, short. Amant, long. But this one is short because it's not long by position. It's just short. So amat. Okay, that's this one. Now let's go to accent. So where's the stress basically? Like, it's really easy. Latin's really easy. If a word has one syllable, obviously the stress goes for the one syllable because there's no other place to put it. If it has two syllables, it goes in the first syllable because the rule is it goes in the second to last syllable. So if there's only two syllables, the first syllable is the second to last syllable. So in two syllable words, it's servo. I highlighted it. Saipe, nihil. It's not servo. It's not saipe. It's not nihil. Right? That's that would be accenting the last syllable. We don't do that in Latin. Okay, so it's the second to last syllable and two syllable words that will be the first syllable. In three or more syllable words, it's also the second to last syllable if that syllable is long, either by nature or by position. So, conservare, long by nature, because it has the macron over the A. Conservare. Conservant, because it's long by position. Why? Because it has the R followed by the V. So as a group, consonant group following that E. So it's long by position. So that E is long by position. So it's not conservant. It's not conservant, right? Because if that wasn't long, then that means the con is going to get stressed. But it's actually long by position. So it's conservant. Conservant. The stress is in the second syllable, second to last syllable. Now, if the accent will be on the third syllable, on the third to last syllable, so the last syllable, second to last syllable, third to last syllable, if the second to last syllable is short. If the second to last syllable is short, not long by nature, not long by position, then it goes to the third to last syllable. Moneo, moneo, matria, pecunia, volucris, right? Third to last syllable, third to last syllable, third to last syllable, and third to last syllable. And why is this U short? Because look, we have the C and the R. Volucris, volucris. Why is there's no other reason to it. There's no other exceptions here. So that's it. That's the introduction basically to Wheelock's Latin. Okay. I hope this helped. Next video will be for Unit 1, and it will cover everything. I will do some of the translation exercises because I'm going to walk you through it. And then, of course, I'll explain all the grammar. All right. If you have any questions, let me know. Yeah, if people comment and I see the people commenting, like people watch videos all the time, but I don't know how interested they are. I don't know if they're like taking any use of it. So if I see more people like comment and say, yeah, this is helpful, or yeah, keep doing these videos, then I'll it'll like kind of motivate me to do more. I'm probably going to do them anyway because I think it helps my Latin to teach Latin because I teach Latin to a certain level. So either way, it's going to be productive for me. But like, yeah, just let me know. And if I made a mistake, like let me know. This is like impromptu stuff. I have my notes, but like it's not like a script or anything. So okay, that's it. Okay, I'm gonna say see you after I do all the stuff I need to. And now, see you guys.